Shalom to the tribe. Peace to the tribes. Peace to the family. Ahab to all the real ones. Shalom, shalom. How y'all doing? Yeah. I just got home. You know what I'm saying? Not too long ago. Fresh off, as you can see. Nonetheless, it's been a good minute, right? Since I talked to the tribe. So I thought I'd come back and hit y'all with part 2. Yeah. And if you remember, the last time we was digging, we were talking, right? The last time we were together, I had asked, what was the future? What does the future mean, right? But, before we get into that, I just like to let that, sit in the mental one time. But yeah, before we get into that though, I know a lot of folks is sick at the moment, right? Going through the sniffles. Maybe, sore throat, cough, all kind of works, right? In between so-called seasonal changes, these things often happen, right? Allergies get mixed up, and a lot of germs, a lot of exposure to germs are about around these times, right? These timings. But how many come outside to soak up some sun? How many of y'all feeling like this actually sat out in the sun the way I'm doing right now with y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's little things like this go a long way. Go a long, long way. And if you have any toxins in your body, known toxins, right? You step out into this sun, you step out in that sun, and right away, it's gonna start eating up on them toxins. You'll feel it in your skin, How many of y'all out there getting bit by mosquitoes? I'm talking left and right, right? You can't even, you can't be outside at all, right? Because you get bit up. I mean, I'm speaking from experience, It's happening over here as well. But, yeah, you step out into that sun, right? For those that are, with mosquito bites or that's been bitten lately, the sun make it itch more. Have you noticed, It gets more irritable. It's because the sunlight, the sun ray, is actually focusing on the toxin. It's trying to purify the blood, right? Because the light penetrates the skin and enters the bloodstream. And that's how that works, right? So it's just a healthy reminder, fam. You know what I'm saying? To all the loved ones out there, if you're going through any illnesses, any symptoms, just spend a little time out here in this sun. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here doing it with you. Shalom to the tribe. Peace to the family. Ahab to the home team. You know what I'm saying? We just chilling. Ahab to the Ether squad. The whole tribe, man. The whole tribe. It's dropping nothing but that heavy. They dropping heavy material. They dropping heavy material right now. So Ahab to the Ether squad. Much love to you. That's 432. But yeah, I hope y'all out here, at least soaking up some sun if you up under the weather or feeling like it. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I wanted to touch on real quick was the fact that how many of y'all actually seen the show Dark? I mean, the last time we were talking, the last time we came together, right? I was telling you that I was digging this show on Netflix called The Dark, and it's from Germany, I think. So it's a foreign film, comes with the subtitles and all that. But the drop is the drop. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, how many of y'all got it? Because if you got it, you should definitely know what time it is. You know, but to those who did, what was the the main character, right? I mean, there's multiple main characters, but the main one, right? The main one that this show is all about. What is his name? All right. What is his name? And then the guy that I guess you can say is after him, the guy he's trying to fight or stop, or the guy that's trying to stop him, what is that guy's name? You see what I'm saying? And when they were digging on this drop, right, they're really stuck on this time travel. Which brings me, you know, into the full crust of this presentation. Because if y'all actually been vibing with me, y'all actually check that out. We got something to talk about now. If you haven't, then I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I guess y'all just got to get y'all participation on. But Ahab. So them dealing with this time travel, they're trying to escape their destination, right? Their destiny, their predestined path. They're trying to diverge from that, right? They're trying to escape it. You know, so we're digging on the ether right now, over here in the ether at TDR. It's 432thedrop.com. You know what I'm saying? Get over there if you can. Ahab to all the ether squad. Ahab to all my brethren, my aquas, my sisters. So we're building on this ether right now, all right? And it's becoming common knowledge, right, that we're dealing with a realm that's not necessarily real. Now, I know a lot of y'all might be like, "Nat, what you mean?" But like I said, if you really are participating, you know exactly what I mean right now, right? We're talking about the 3D lockdown, right? This third dimension. And like I was telling you, the earth frequency, what they call the Schumann resonance, right? I mean, we're spiking up. You see the sun, you see it up on my face, right? We're spiking up though. We're going all the way up. We're taking this one up with the 9. All right. So as we starting to get this jump, what they want to refer to as the Earth's birth pains, you know, we're starting to get this jump, and we are in full-blown acceleration. And we're talking about light codes, DNA, you know, reformation. We're talking about furnace season, right? Shouts out to the Templar. This is the time for refinement, to be refined. So they're trying to escape this reality, but they don't have what we would consider melanin or the carbon matter, right? They don't have this. Now I know a lot of people like to sit up here and say, "Oh, it's not about that. It's not about, you know, your pigmentation." But I mean, I got something to ask you. Why would the Creator create a people with less pigmentation to to make them less capable to handle the sun? I mean, we can't sit up here and say this is just based off land and where a person so-called decide to settle, and then the genes adjusted to such. I'm not gonna buy that, because these same people who are let's say melanin deficient have no problem with leaving their habitat to colonize. Alright? They don't mind leaving their natural, I mean, they're unnatural, but they're predestined, their lot. They don't mind leaving their lot to take a piece of yours. I mean, you live in a state of their doing, their conditioning. So you mean to tell me that this conditioning that left you marginalized, that leaves you marginalized 24/9, you mean to tell me that this is all for us just to fall back on love? Do you even know what love is? Do you even know what love is? Like, for real. And I'm talking about without the superficial attachments. You know, if you're gonna get in my comments and drop something about something you heard on TV or on radio, or you want to give me a form of intimacy, you know, you want to tell me that love is childbirth, nah, no, it's not. Okay, that's a program, and everything that comes with this 3D realm is a program that has its own rules, own instructions for every process. Look at a computer, right? A computer operates and runs on commands. Commands. You see what I'm saying? You command a computer to do a task, and the system and the program operates the task out according to the way you instructed it. Therefore, a computer can really make no errors, right? It can only do what you tell it. So they're freaked out, right? These melanin deficient pale ones are freaked out because they're stuck in a quantum realm that they can't live in, right? They're stuck in the physics, the physical aspect of matter. This material realm is all the heaven. So, you know, you come on here seeking heaven. But, I mean, that's a 3D way of thinking, right? It's a 3D way of thinking because this is a hologram, right? This is a projection of something that's more greater than this experience, which is why there's a hype over this life after death, right? That's why there's a hype over this life after death. Now, it is known that the energy never dies. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. Okay? So one has to imagine outside of this physical material realm, the spirit, the soul, the God, right? It still exists. It still functions. It still has a motor functioning outside of this realm, which in actuality makes you more than just a three-dimensional being. You know, we're talking fourth, fifth, sixth, and even above. So they're trying to escape so said reality, right? By jumping time. And they think they can undo what is basically presented as their future by changing their past in a parallel universe. Parallel universe, right? So in this parallel universe, they go back and alter things they think they can control. Which leads me to my next question. Do we really have free will? Do we really have free will to go against the grain of Hawa? I believe we have the capability to defy what they call time, because it's when we actually sit down, right, and we go within and we meditate and we ponder and we get into what they call the astral world. Time doesn't exist. All right. So we are able to defy it. And what do I mean by that? Well, we know for a fact that this thing we call carbon, this thing we call melanin, is like a not just a fingerprint, right? But it's a genetic code that can take you back, all right? Back as far as you can go within yourself, and you access these memories within yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you'll start to understand and see that everything was already quote unquote written out. I mean, this was already meant to happen. Because see, the way genes work is that we inherit the genes that came before us. We become our ancestors. So we take on their manifestations, right? And if we're taking on the genes of our forefathers and foremothers, are we really free? Are we really free? You know, do we really have this free will, the way it's been programmed into our mind? Or are we just living out something that was meant to happen, right? Something that was preordained for us? Aren't we all just a part of the plan? And see, having this thing called melanin, having this thing called carbon, actually allows us to be at peace with this plan that Hawa has, right? It allows us to be at peace with it, and we come to peace with ourselves, knowing that we are part of something bigger, something bigger than us, right? But as a collective, we are all involved, right? We are all involved. And it's in that involvement that you get the clarity, the 360 dragonfly perspective, that there is no separation. There is no separation, right? The very thing that's pushing you, making you, driving you is the same force in all life. All right, so we inherit and embody our ancestors' genetics, which makes us renewals of those ancient ones. But if the ancient ones made a mistake, are we free from that same mistake? I don't think so, right? I think that they kicked you this free will to empower your ego, right? So you can fool yourself into thinking I have a choice. But to not follow the law is to be lawless. And to be lawless, that's not much of a choice, right? I mean, it's pretty obvious. So with that being said, right, for those who've seen the show The Dark, you know, when we're digging on the main character, right, when we're digging on the main character, What's his name? Right? The alter version, his so-called alter ego. What's his name? And who's the guy trying to stop him? The so-called antagonist. What is his name? Right? And with this genetic code, we start to embody our memories. Almost, so much so, almost to the point that we actually begin to believe we are our memories. For example, if I continue to tell you you were a captive and you're in captivity, and that you've come from slaves, and that your whole ancestry line is just stolen away cargo from an entirely brand new continent that you've never even seen, heard of, and there's no possible way to reconnect you, even if we were to somehow find where it was that you came from this imaginary place, right? We would never be able to reconnect you to your roots, because simply we don't know anymore. That's a program. That's what we call a simulation. So if your ancestors were given this simulation since they were a child, right? Imagine being kidnapped, snatched from your ama, your abba, your mama, your dada, right? You've been snatched away. They stripped you clean from your parents' hands, fresh off the farm, right? Now you in the care and in the presence of some foreigner, right? Some malicious dark energy. I'm not going to even say dark, because this is the dark. I'm going to say this false light. You are given this false light, right? And this false light reveals to you that you are from an entirely another continent. You've been stolen away. You just gotten off a boat. Nobody loves you. You're in a new land. All you are meant to do is work and breed. Now, if that program, right, is implemented and washed into your consciousness since a seedling, your adolescence, your memory starts to replicate these experiences, and to the point where that's all you know. And when time comes, you're going to pass that down. You're literally going to pass this down, because genetically you have embodied this experience which the body is now going to forever remember, by way of traumatization, by way of programming. Experience is what locks our memory in our DNA. So your ancestors are going around with this program being plugged in, and they think they got the rap. They think they got the story. They think they got the drop. You know what I'm saying? So here they go, living in the matrix, and they can't find nothing wrong with it. They can't see nothing wrong with it. They can't smell nothing wrong with it. They can't even visualize that happening, because they are all in. And then here you come down the line, catching the drop, some decades later, 100 years later, whatever the case. And this is sounding like brand new news to you, right? This is brand new water. But nonetheless, you're still faced with the same choices to choose up or not. So does that really free you from your ancestors? Does that really make you anew? You know what I'm saying? We are our ancestors by genetic coding, right? Because this is the way programming processes work. Instructions are passed down genetically. You know, so how can one escape or say they have free will if it's all predetermined? This is all predestined, right? If my father had a widow's peak, which he doesn't, but if he did, it's like 60% chance I'm about to grow that same widow's peak. Am I right? You see what I'm saying? So, in the spirit, right? In the ruach, in the soul, in the vibe, that is my brother, my jigger. We been old. We been old. Right? We been old, meaning we been here. In this 3D realm and outside of this 3D realm. Like we been here this entire time. So do we really have a future? Or is this just a repeat of everything we done? Right? Like it says in the scripts, there is nothing new under the sun. So if there's nothing new under the sun, is there such thing as a future? Right? I mean, I was digging on this drop last week over at TDR432thedrop.com. You know, at our weekly sessions in the classroom called The Naturalists. And we were breaking down the cycles of karma, right? And how karma is a cyclical process. Keeps you in repetition by way of circles, repeating patterns. Right? Progress was supposed to be linear, meaning forward and straight line. So, you know, when we start to dig on this Yaldabaoth scenario, this hijack, right? And we get into the Ouroboros, which is the serpent eating its own tail, which is the circle, which is this repetitive cycle. What is the future? What is the future? And what is progress if we're not talking about the progression of the carbon one, the melanated one? What is the future? You know, how can we unify in love when we don't know what love is? And if you're gonna tell me love is L-O-V-E, then I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to disagree. Because to me, all I know is Ahab. And that's in a totally different frequency. Totally different frequency. So I'm gonna just leave that here for y'all one time. I just wanted to link up with the tribe. It's a lot of drop on the way. We got more coming. So shouts out for you to choosing up. And like I said, man, to everybody participating, Ahab, what is our future, man? What is the future? You know, if we're just talking ether and the third dimension hologram, what's this future? Are we really free from the dark? Are we really free from the dark? Are we really free from the program? Are you really free from Hawa's destiny for you? Till next time, peace.